at CWG.news/Ida. That is our latest live blog on CapitalWeatherGang.com. And for the latest DCA forecast, the DC area forecast, go to CWG.news/latest. It is another muggy evening here. Look at those dew points. It is about 72, 73. So nice and juicy air will continue for the remainder of August. September may slowly ease into a cooler, drier note. We just have to contend with a very rough midweek potentially. We've got flooding downpours potentially with Ida's remnants moving through, some windiness. Can't rule out a tornado or two. But then here's the silver lining. Friday into the weekend do look calmer, drier, and cooler. It will feel like late summer and very refreshing. Eric, you are not late. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions for the forecast on the week ahead. It is going to be hot tomorrow. One last very summery day. Heat index values could be near or around 100 degrees in some spots. Remember, it's important that we talk about the apparent temperature, how it feels to your body, because it's so dependent on whether the air allows your sweat to evaporate from your skin and cool your skin. But the temperature plus the humidity, that's really important. It's going to feel like close to 100 degrees tomorrow. So please take it easy, continue to hydrate. It's not a slam dunk that we see a ton of sunshine and really get very warm tomorrow, but the chance is there enough, substantially enough, that I just want you to be aware. Tomorrow is likely the hottest day of the week when taking into account the temperature and the humidity levels. Rain in the short term, the next kind of couple days into midday Tuesday, not too much to speak of, but I want to show you how in the Tennessee River Valley you can see the heavier rains there as Ida is slowly moving northward this week into the middle part of this week. It comes out of the Tennessee Valley. Maybe after midnight on Tuesday, we start seeing some precipitation, a little bit of breeziness on Wednesday, and the windiness may last into Thursday as well. So don't worry too much about the wind. That might be one of the lesser impacts, but we could see inside strong to severe storms, winds at or above 58 miles per hour. So we could see some isolated patchy pockets here and there of some very strong winds coming out of thunderstorms. And I guess I need to also flag a tornado or two is possible. They're usually weak, not very long lasting. They're fairly brief. They're rain wrapped. That would be the characteristic of any tornadoes, if we see any, with the remnants. Maybe Ida is a tropical depression by the time it gets to the DC area Wednesday into Thursday morning. But here's the totals that we're thinking. And I have the latest on Hurricane Ida. Now it is a Category 3 with 125 miles per hour wind. So that's good that hopefully you're following our feed at Capital Weather on Twitter as well. I'm coming to you live on Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Rain is the main threat this week from the remnants of Ida. So please be very weather aware. Late Tuesday night through maybe midday Thursday, we could see some flood downpours. Remember, turn around, don't drown. If you encounter a water-covered path forward, go in reverse, do not go through the water. Hello, Peter, thanks for tuning in. And David and Laura, I am very glad your son evacuated New Orleans. David, the rain may start here after midnight on Tuesday from more directly from Ida, but we could see late afternoon on Tuesday some enhancement to our moisture, to our lift and instability around the DC area. So we do need to be on the lookout for afternoon storms, not only Tuesday, but tomorrow as well. And then an amplification of flooding downpour rain potentially starting later Tuesday night into midday Thursday. This is the main part of this rain that you're seeing is looking like Tuesday late night into Thursday midday perhaps. That's the best timing guesstimate that we have right now. Please stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com and follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube as well. And on Instagram, please. So let's see, we've got winds are a moderate concern. We could see some wind gusts above 40 miles per hour, especially later Wednesday into Thursday. So let's see, Liz, yes, those poor people in Louisiana, our thoughts are with them, and we really hope everyone is staying safe as possible. We know some vulnerable populations, vulnerable people were not able to evacuate, so I hope everyone that could shelter in place has done so. Yes, Doris, every Sunday at sunset we do these broadcasts. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Today's sunset at 7:42 p.m. I've had some lovely technical difficulties, so I was a couple minutes late for you. But I'll do better next week when, get this, we will be at 7:30 p.m. on Labor Day for a holiday Monday edition of our Sunset Live Q&A. Keep that in mind. It is a holiday next Monday, so I will be waiting 8 days to talk to you next. But today, sunset is at 7:42 p.m. We will dip below 13 hours of daylight by the time I talk to you on Labor Day. And 7:30 p.m. is when I talk to you on Labor Day evening for sunset then. We're losing almost 2.5 minutes of daylight every day, so evening light lovers, please enjoy it now while we have it. And again, tropics remain very active as we head toward the peak of the hurricane season in the Atlantic, September 10th, 11th timeframe. But it is very active, and we will, of course, keep an eye on things at capitalweathergang.com. No imminent threats with high probabilities of developing just yet. So beachgoers, later this week, you might have a window, but we all need to keep an eye on things as we approach peak season. Yes, Annette, prayers for safe evacuation. And we've got Daniel, the tornado threat be anywhere nearly as bad as Ivan. Daniel, so far we are thinking if a tornado threat develops, it would be Wednesday, perhaps early Thursday. We'll need to keep an eye on it. They should, 1 or 2 are possible. Certainty is low. Confidence is low in the forecast for tornadoes. We need to see what the final track is of Ida as it approaches our region. May still be a tropical depression, remains to be seen, but it is close enough to cause us concern. Any tornadoes that develop, generally speaking, should be brief, should not be long lasting, should be fairly weak, and they could be rain wraps, so they will not be visible on the horizon. They will be embedded in some of these flooding downpours. Rain is much more the concern. This week we could see 2, 3, 4 inches of rain in parts of the area, so please keep that in mind. Turn around, don't drown. When encountering a water-covered road or water-covered path forward, please turn around and do not drown. Do not go through the water. We've got significant reduction in humidity, Neil. That is indeed what I wanted to highlight as some silver lining. The next few days, look at the 70s dew points get scoured out behind Ida. We turn into comfortable 50s Friday and Saturday, and maybe even Sunday. We can squeeze out maybe 3 comfortable days for kind of a late summer feel to the air, kind of warm but splendidly comfortable. So we will take it. It is not all bad news. There is some silver lining as we get toward Friday into the weekend. We do see kind of an ebbing, a reduction in the air temperature and the air's humidity. The dew points will go down, and that is good. We just have to get through the very rough middle part of the week with Ida's remains. David, yes, we do have a nice dry out. And Norjale, thank you for tuning in. Noted. I'm glad you're paying attention. And Graham, flight cancellations in our area Wednesday night are indeed possible. Maybe even very late Tuesday night into early Thursday. We could see a few cancellations. The wind and rain could be dodgeable for air traffic control. So I would expect kind of heavier delays, maybe not all widespread cancellations. So keep that in mind. Have flexibility and a plan B in some of your travel plans by air and land for the upcoming midweek, late Tuesday night through at least midday Thursday. A lot of rain this week. David is laughing about his mud getting dry, but indeed rain is the major impact from Ida's remnants this week. 2, 3, 4 inches of rain are possible. Doris, thank you very much. Appreciate you tuning in and your patience. And I'll see you on, remember, Labor Day is a holiday next Monday. So I will be seeing you for a holiday edition of our Sunday Sunset Chat. It will be a Monday Sunset Chat live Q&A next Monday. I'll see you then. So Ida is at CWG.news/Ida. This is a live blog right now on capitalweathergang.com. And for the latest forecast by Greg Porter, go to CWG.news/latest, where we cover the next 36 hours or so. It remains muggy with afternoon showers and storms possible. Doris, indeed, the forecast does look a bit messy this week. We have afternoon mugginess and rain chances, and can't rule out a couple strong storms even before Ida's remnants get here, with heavy rains very late Tuesday night and early Wednesday into perhaps midday Thursday. So please keep that in mind. We have to get through a very unsettled middle part of this week. Yes, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge does get shut down, I think, with 3-minute gusts, Drew, of over 38 miles an hour, I believe. It's fairly low, but I have been on that bridge when it is very breezy, and I agree it should be shut down conservatively on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. So Indeed, while there are no evacuations needed and we don't need to do any massive replacement of cars and people this week because of our impacts in the region, Ida could indeed briefly, potentially, with 40-mile-per-hour plus wind gusts, we could see some delays and brief closures of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, but not a widespread wind event. We're more concerned about rain as the main impact, 2, 3, 4 inches. But yes, here are the wind gusts over the coming days. Generally speaking, and this is more of an outlook than specific numbers that I want you to pay attention to, we could have some wind gusts above 40 miles per hour. And yes, inside some of the stronger downpours and maybe severe thunderstorms, which could encompass 1 or 2 weak tornadoes. We need to watch for that potential. We could see wind gusts themselves in these thunderstorms, even without tornadoes, be at or above 58 miles per hour, which is damaging wind gusts category threshold. So please keep that in mind as well. But again, rain I want to focus on as flooding potential for later this week, for the middle part of this week. The heavier rains do start kind of in earnest late Tuesday night, maybe lasting into midday Thursday. Laura, you're most welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Rain, feast or famine, Stephanie. It's been a lot of feast on the rain lately. We have very little drought to speak of in our area. It's the eastern United States is doing very well in the rain department. So I would love to be able to dry out, and luckily we can. At least tonight, the activity is staying well to the west, generally west of I-81, but we got more rain coming this week, so we just need to be careful midweek when we see these potentially flooding downpours from the remnants of Ida moving into our region. Remember, turn around, don't drown. If you encounter a water-covered path forward, do not attempt to cross it and pull a reverse. Turn around, please. Marie, thanks so much for tuning in. You're most welcome. Drew, good Hurricane Andrew recollection there. No need to panic in the DC area. We have time to prepare for some flooding downpours, but we will get through this. It is not a major damaging threat to our region, but yes, we could see some damaging wind gusts and some stronger storms, some flooding downpours, and yes, 1 or 2 tornadoes can't be ruled out. But we will of course keep you posted with warnings and watches as they develop later this week. But Ida, the remnants will only be about a tropical depression strength, if that, when it gets to our region. So it is not a major wind threat, even though yes, here's a model of the wind gusts. We could see some 40-mile-per-hour plus wind gusts later this week, middle of the week. But again, let's keep a focus on the main threat is flooding rains late Tuesday night into perhaps midday Thursday. And even after these rains fall, we could see the runoff take some time into the rivers and streams into Thursday night and maybe early Friday as well. So just keep that in mind. Despite Friday being kind of a clear weather day, the waterways could still be a little turbulent on Friday, but it will feel cooler and drier Friday and into the weekend, though a little bit of breeziness might last through Friday as well. Yes, Aaron, Tuesday night into Thursday midday, we could see some isolated flash flooding because we do indeed see the potential for 2, 3, and 4 inches of rain. And as you know, our soil is very wet. We have not had time to really dry out recently. Karen, please be careful if you do go to the beach. And let's see, Gary, hello from Maine. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Alex, river flooding is possible for the mountains in Maryland and eastern West Virginia, but because you were upstream, that would be an earlier flooding time frame, perhaps into Thursday morning or so. It might be the peak time in your region for some of these streams and rivers to flood in your area. In Chambersburg as well, Diana, yes, a flooding threat is possible for much, if not all, the region, especially points just west of town and northwest of town. Can't wait for cooler or drier weather in time for the long weekend, Conroy. Yes, indeed, that is some of the good news. We do have these dew points getting scoured out, the 70s, the muggy, super muggy 70s that we are experiencing even now. Look at this 72-degree dew point right now in the DC area. But these high dew points with that mugginess and steaminess do get pushed out to sea. Ida's remnants gives us a silver lining. It pushes out the high dew points, and we will see some more refreshing air for Friday and into the weekend, with dew points potentially staying in the 50s. So fingers crossed we could have a fairly decent weekend. And here's your sneak peek at Saturday temperatures, maybe just in the low to mid 80s. So we will watch this. We deserve it. If it does transpire, it will be more comfortable, cooler, and drier. Though I don't call 80s cool necessarily, but compared to what we've had hopefully you'll forgive my relative statements. And of course, we're keeping an eye on tropics, remains active. No other imminent high probability threats after Ida's remnants move through here middle part of this week. The next name on the storm, we've got Kate next up, since we did have Julian develop out there in the Atlantic. No threat to land. So that is good news. And a sneak peek at Labor Day week. We kind of have equal chances for temperatures to maybe be near normal. We will see. And keep in mind when you do talk to me on Labor Day for a holiday Monday edition of our chat live Q&As, we have an average high temperature next Monday of 84 degrees. So it's getting a little bit more comfortable and tolerable, which is great. I think it's a very decent temperature regime. And then the precipitation for next work week, which although it is shortened, this map starts on Monday, on Labor Day, when you'll talk to me next. We could see kind of an added mix of more precipitation, not too long of a dry out period going into Friday and this weekend. Thank goodness we have the 3 days to dry out before potentially more moisture moves in next week as well. But hey, we're doing great in the drought department, don't need any more rain. So the East Coast generally doing pretty good. Maine, Upper Maine could do a little bit better. And Central Virginia should get a great dose of rain this week, a little bit too much too quickly in some regards. Again, just to highlight that, we could see 2, 3, 4 inches of rain, especially in the Blue Ridge and Appalachians. From Tuesday night to maybe midday Thursday is the focus of this flooding rain that we're concerned about, is the main impact from the remnants of Ida later this week. So Ben, I hope I answered your timeline question. Let's see, friends coming back from the Outer Banks okay on Wednesday. Yes, as you can see, impacts south and east of town are less. They might have some rain delays in traffic as they get into the Fredericksburg DC corridor, which, hey, even on a good day, doesn't always function very well. Alex, NWS has 6 to 10 inches for us over the next 5 days, and this is from the Weather Prediction Center, kind of combined with the National Weather Service predictions. We do see 3, 4. We want to stay a little bit conservative for now, but yes, some isolated patchy flooding downpours could have some local areas seeing a little bit more than the generalized 3 and 4 inches that we're thinking for west and northwest of town. I do see a tornado watch possible, David, later this week, and a flash flood watch being posted later this week as well. And Clark County, John, you are going to see the same flooding rains potentially later this week as well. And let's see, Harpers Ferry flooding, Drew. I think it could be up there on the gauge. I don't have a guesstimate, but it is something to watch later this week. Gary, indeed, we've got crickets and the standard annual cicadas for you in the background. And let's see. DC metro area will fare with Ida Mary fairly okay, except for the rain being the main impact. So let me show you, wind gusts are not a major concern at this time, but yes, we could see some wind gusts over 40 miles an hour. And if we do see some strong to severe storms, we could see wind gusts inside some of these downpours being over 58 miles per hour, so damaging wind gusts are possible. But let's see, we've also got the chance for a couple brief tornadoes later this week as well, as Ida's remnants do approach us late Tuesday night into early Thursday. That is the time frame we're looking at as well. And we've got more tweets coming out from Capital Weather on Twitter. Make sure you're following us at Capital Weather. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Another minute and a half, I'm on the air. And Gary, thanks again. And David, power outages not expected currently to be widespread, but if you do have trees that are wet nearby with the very saturated soil, yes, we could see some items, some trees easily topple later this week. Again, wind gusts, they will be around, maybe over 40 miles an hour, but not a widespread high wind event expected. It's kind of a lesser impact, but it's there. Some wind possible later this week as well. And just focus on the rain as the main impact. Flooding downpours are possible late Tuesday night into midday Thursday. All right. Great summer, lots of heat waves. Alex loves that. Deborah, you're most welcome. Yes, you could use some rain, Kenny, and you should see it later this week. Pasadena, Maryland. Josh, you're going to be kind of on the little bit lower end, maybe 2 inches or so, based on the current track, which is subject to change. And again, here is the current track near us, generally coming out of the Tennessee Valley late Tuesday night, and then it's shunted eastward by a cold front coming out of the Great Lakes, and then pushed offshore by later on Thursday, and we could still be breezy on Friday as well. So here's our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest on Ida. We have a live blog going at CWG.news/Ida. And here's your forecast at a glance. Again, showers and storms for the afternoon are possible both Monday and Tuesday. Very muggy tomorrow. Heat index values could be near 100. Keep that in mind. It's an important figure for temperatures plus humidity. It's going to be very uncomfortable, or hottest feeling day of the week. And again, watching Ida's remnants moving in later on Tuesday night. Wednesday and even midday Thursday is when it might take to get all of it out of here. So flooding rains are the main concern. Winds are secondary. And the tertiary third concern, but it could happen. We could see a couple tornadoes that are brief, not long lasting, not very strong, but we'll have to keep an eye on that and stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com. We'll watch for a flash flood watch issued by the National Service potentially later this week, perhaps a tornado watch issue later this week as well as Ida's remnants get closer. So please stay weather aware as we get into the middle part of this week. I'm Camden Walker signing off. Dingo, thanks for tuning in. Rodney, you're most welcome. And Drew, you stay safe as well. Thank you for that. I want everyone to stay safe. And our thoughts are with everyone in Louisiana and the Central Gulf Coast. And Barb, thanks for tuning in. You have a good week as well. And Faye, thank you. And Sunny, look for rain in Bowie this week as well. And take care, Gary, as well. And thank you all for tuning in. I will see you Monday for Labor Day edition of our chats for the Sunset Chat Q&A. So I'll see you in 8 days. And it will be 7:30 then for the sunset time, and we're losing 2.5 minutes of daylight every day. So evening light lovers, please savor it while you have it. Take care for now and stay safe.